Good morning. It's the fat girl that rules. How y'all doing? This is gonna be a short post because I'm going to the movies. So, I get up this morning and I have 15 missed calls from my oldest brother because he happened to see the video I made last night and he was really worried. And I didn't. He called late. I had finally fell asleep. And so this morning I get up, I go get breakfast, and I'm eating breakfast, and he calls me again and asks me if I'm okay and is everything all right and do I need him. And it made me cry harder than what happened to me yesterday. And I'm gonna tell you why. My oldest brother is deaf. He can't hear, and he doesn't speak. And he told me this morning, and I'm still not gonna cry. He told me this morning that he watched that video over and over again so he could read my lips, because he knew by how I was talking and my body language that I was upset. When I tell you, if nobody else don't love me, that man loved me. He will do anything I ask him to do, and he does it well. When we were little, if anybody bothered me, he would be on them like white on rice. He did not play when it came to me, and he still act like sometimes I'm 15 years old, and you know that I need to be protected. And and up until this morning, it bothered me, and it don't bother now. It doesn't, because it's rare. I'm talking about even among siblings, for people to love somebody unconditionally like that. And he loves me. We don't talk all the time. Even when I come home, I don't even go visit or anything. But that's going to also change, because he's always been there. And the thing is, he won't always be there. And I'm not going to cry. But I do know that he made me feel really special this morning. He made me feel just so loved this morning. And the main reason why was, I'm trying to figure out, I know I got tears in my eyes, sorry y'all. I'm gonna try to do these videos without all this. I'm just a mushy person. I'm trying to figure out, because he couldn't tell me exactly how many times he watched it, because he didn't watch it all the way through. He just kept rewinding when it got iffy and he couldn't see my lips or whatever. This man sat and watched the video of me talking until he could understand that something almost happened to me yesterday. And I just broke down. The waitress thought something was wrong. No, the food ain't that bad. The food was actually, that was one of the best meals I've ever had at a Waffle House. The steak was perfect, the eggs were perfect, the food was perfect, the wait staff, like 3 or 4 people asked me if I was okay. Not in a come stand by your table, or no, they were over on the, you all right? And she came. It was a wonderful experience. I'm in Alabama somewhere, Lincoln, Alabama, at a Pilot across the street from a Waffle House. There's nothing else really around here, like nothing. But they were the nicest people, and it was just a good experience. My food always tastes better when my server is into what she's doing. I ain't put no lashes on this morning because I knew that today I would still be leaky a little bit. But if you have somebody in your life that loves you, you got to show them appreciation. And when I'm getting ready to go to a Walmart or whatever, and my brother is so simple. Like you would think I could buy him I'm not going to do this, but I'm just saying, I could buy him a 6-pack of Coke, or some sodas, or some t-shirts, and he would act like I just gave him a brand new Maserati, because he's just simple like that, and he just want to make sure I'm okay. But that made me feel really good this morning. It made me feel bad too, because he worried so long for me last night, because I didn't answer he calls me on IMO so that we can see each other and we can talk. And so, but IMO did something, and now I can't have it on my phone. So I didn't even hear him calling me. I could have been back there and it could have been ringing and I didn't hear it. But I just wanted to say that it's just, if you got somebody to love you, man, you got to show them that you appreciate that they love you. You see what I'm saying? So it was touching for me this morning. First of all, just to talk to my brother while I'm eating breakfast or whatever, and just to touch base. And he's like I say, he's very simple. He don't ask a bunch of questions and all that. All he want to know is, you okay? Do you need me? Did anybody hurt you? And he still asks the same question he asked when I was 5 and 10 and 15. You know what he asked me first? If I tell him, yeah, something wrong, who are they and where they live? That's how my brother is. I'm gonna tell you this story. I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna tell you this story. So I had this boyfriend. I would say his name, but I'm not going to, because he don't deserve any recognition. So I had a boyfriend in school. Not in school. I was out of school for the summer. And for the summer, back in the day, you could get a job picking through tomatoes on a little line out in the country. So I was out in Ravenel, and I met this guy, and he just was a smooth talker. I didn't know nothing about, listen, honey, I know nothing about no boys, because I didn't have boyfriends and all that other stuff. I just didn't. I was a totally different person than I am now. I was shy. I didn't talk that much, and I definitely did not talk to boys. And I was close to 300 pounds too. That wasn't a factor, but the factor was that I was a tomboy. I dressed like a dude. I saggy pants, Timberlands, tennis shoes, and a big old shirt down to my knees. So, and I did everything to cover up all of that was under there. Not like I am now. I was just different. I was a different, very shy, introverted person. So he used all the right words on me, honey. He had me at hello. Remember that girl? Y'all seen the movie. So I met him, and he came to the house. He met my mama. He never met my dad, but he met my mom. He met my brothers and all that. And I don't know if he met my little sister or not, but whatever. So one day he asked if I go to a party. My mom said I could go. So we drove all the way out to Hollywood, out in the country, where his people were, and they were having just a bunch of people over. It was just a bunch of people drinking and laughing and having fun. Back in the day, you didn't have to worry about people getting shot and all that foolishness, and they were having a good time. So it was about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and he was like, come on, let me take you home, because it's getting late. And I lived in West Ashley at the time, which if you're not from South Carolina or whatever, it's got to be a good 40, 50 miles from there, from where he was. It might be less than that, but to me it seemed like that, because long story short, he asked me to do something for him that, first of all, I hadn't even heard about except when girls be talking. That's first. Second, I was still a virgin at that time. That's second. So he asked me to perform a oral application on him, and I said no. This Negro put me out of the car. He put me out of the car right past the Dodge store when you're going, I think that's Red Top. He put me out of the car, turned the car around, and drove back to Hollywood. I had to walk home because we didn't have cell phones. Not like that. I mean, people had cell phones, but not me. We wasn't rolling. We didn't have no money like that. And then cell phones weren't this big thing that everybody had. I had to walk home at 1:30, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I was walking down that dark road on 17 going toward West Ashley. I'm boo-hooing, I'm crying, I am hysterical. But by the time I get home, I'm pissed. You understand me? I'm angry. So I get to the house and go in or whatever, and all I hear, my dad was very subtle. He said, "You're late." And I knew that the next day it was gonna be, I'll get what it was. The questions was gonna start. It was gonna be whatever. But I go to my brother's room, and I tell him that boy, and I tell him what happened. I told him that boy dropped me off in the middle of the car. I had to just walk home. My brother jumps out of his bed, put his clothes on, grab me by my shirt like this, and pull me through the kitchen. Steal my mama car keys. She had a 68 gold Mustang. When I tell you that car was pretty, it was pristine. My daddy kept that car, but you stole my mama car, threw me in the car, and we drove off. On our way to Hollywood, we made 3 stops. We picked up 3 other dudes, and as you probably can already comfort, they're all deaf. Nobody talking. There's hands flying in the car. It's me sitting in the seat like this. They talking to each other, and I mean they make a little noise or whatever, but you don't hear nothing in that car. Ain't no music, nothing. And he telling me where you live, you know, pointing up. So we get back there, and him and the guys tell me to stay in the car. Him and the guys get out the car. They go bam on this trailer door, and then all of them step back. I promise you, every nigga that came out that house got their ass whooped. They got beat down. And the funniest thing that happened that night, I had the windows down. You could hear the people that they were. It was 2 cousins and a brother, and the ex-boyfriend. He came out of the house, and the mama was in the doorway screaming she gonna call the police, and they yelling. But the only people you hear making noise are the guys who came out the house, because my brother them ain't making no noise. They just swinging. And one of the guys who getting beat up goes, "Well, why they not making no noise? What's wrong with them?" They listen. I laughed so much I almost wet myself. They beat them boys bloody. When I tell you they beat them. Nobody. They left them on the ground. They beat every booger that came out that house talking. They beat them. They jump back in the car. We spin off. We get to a it wasn't a Waffle House. I want to say Waffle House, but because that's a Waffle House. But it wasn't an IHOP. So it must have been a Waffle House, or it wasn't an IHOP or a Waffle House. It was something else. Who else served breakfast? So, well, one of them like a Waffle House, and they went in the bathroom and cleaned themselves up, came back out. They bought me breakfast. I ate my breakfast with a big old smile on my face. They was laughing and talking, I guess, about the fight, because they go too fast. I'm still just doing the alphabet, honey. Took me home, and I thought it was over with. I went to bed. I woke up later on that afternoon. It was a Sunday afternoon. I woke up later on that afternoon, and all of them came back. And the other guy drove his car. I don't even know if my mom ever knew we took that car, but he drove his car. They took me shopping, and then they took me to lunch. Then they took me back home, and that was the end of it. And that's how much my brother loved me. And if I asked him to do it today, he would do it today. He would do it, and almost in his 60s, and he would do it today with no hesitation, because he loved his little sister. He loved me just like that. There's nothing I can do wrong in his eyes. And I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna tell you this, and you'll hear this from me all the time. I know I'm a screw up. I know it. And I know that I could be a better person, and I try every day, I promise you. And I know I screw up. I know I got issues. And I know I'm not the greatest person or sister or whatever in the world. But he don't treat me like that. He don't. He treat me like I'm the best thing that's how he treat me. And I love him. I really do. And if he watching this, I love you, big bro. Thank you for caring about me, because I love him. He's the man. He's the man for today. So that was the video I wanted to give. It was supposed to be shorter, and I wasn't going to tell that story. I didn't plan on telling that story. Whether I would have told it eventually anyway, because like I say, I'm transparent. I'm an open book. But love your man. Keep up with your people. Love your people, and if they love you, despite all of your stupidness, you better appreciate that. You better appreciate it, because it's rare. It's rare for somebody to love you with no stipulations on top. You ain't got to do this to do that to be loved. And I love that man. And I'm going to see the Avengers. I wanted to see Us, but you know, certain places don't show certain movies, and this is one of them. But I want y'all to have a good day, a good Sunday, and I'll say like I always say, Jesus fixed it, like you said you would.